set some ground rules. How a global blackout would play out would depend on what caused the blackout in the first place. Did all the power stations stop working due to a natural disaster all of a sudden? In this scenario, we are going to assume that an EMP-like weapon went off on Earth and took out all power and electric devices. Let's say such an event happened, and a weapon the likes of which we have never seen before went off on Earth. What would be the first effects?
Electromagnetic pulse attack, which would literally destroy the country's capacity to function.
If the power crisis in Venezuela in 2019 has taught us anything, it is that the modern world is not prepared for long-term power outages. It is the most recent example that we can use as a frame of reference to speculate on how such an event would affect us. As it turns out, some members of our society depend on electricity in less superficial ways than we do, because the first people to get affected by the power outage were the patients in hospitals. In a potential global blackout, people who are on life support in hospitals would likely be the first casualties. People on ventilators and ECMO machines wouldn't survive such an event for long. Some of them can be kept alive using rubber lungs, but this wouldn't be a permanent solution, as you would need several people taking turns pumping air into the lungs of the patient for a long time. Beyond hospitals, the whole world would slowly realize how much we need electricity. The first couple of minutes would likely be fine. We would just think this is a local power outage, the result of a maintenance effort by the government. But when we noticed that our smartphones also stopped functioning, we would come to grips with the fact that this is no regular power outage. The lack of internet and other communications methods would mean we wouldn't even realize this is a global problem. The subways would stop functioning properly, and people inside would have to walk to the nearest stop without any lights. Without traffic lights, jams and chaos would start to sweep the urban streets in a matter of hours. Populations in most cities would rush to their homes for further news that might never come. Maybe the ugliest part of human nature is the fact that in times of crisis, we want individual security by any means necessary. That means stores in every neighborhood would soon come under looting. In a matter of days, the local law enforcement establishments would be stretched thin in cities full of looting, rioting, and no communication. This lack of coordination in the police forces would result in different gangs ruling their own districts, fighting over whatever limited resources we have left. Lack of electricity would also mean the stop of water distribution. So, soon after the power outage, we would turn into a much thirstier and dirtier society. People would rush to the nearest body of fresh water and try to stock up. The delicate balance of logistics and supply lines would collapse, and soon we would start running out of food, especially in urban areas. We are only talking about an outage for a couple of weeks. There is no way of knowing what the long-term effects would be. When we go beyond months, years even, the picture becomes even more unclear, as we don't have enough evidence to speculate on it. But we are going to go on and say it probably wouldn't be too pleasant.
Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, whom this world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai being the name of his only begotten Son, whom this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and mercy to the house of David, the elect, those men that are doing his work in sincerity and in truth around the four corners of the earth, present their body as a living sacrifice, and much love to the 130 you believers out there. To you all I say shalom and greetings, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the Spirit. All right, so more than likely I would have just put up that EMP video, and I just, it was about 3 minutes and a half. And so at first I don't like to make my intro videos that long, but man, it was a lot of good stuff in there, but I started this lesson considering what would happen if you no longer were able to use your cell phone in the case of an EMP attack, but that dude kind of hit a lot of the points that I wanted to get at, because really an EMP attack is really all it takes is to change how this society works. However, we do know that their goal is to implement the CHIP, right? So this could be something that, and I'm speaking as a man right now, This could be something that they do. EMP attack could be something that they do prior to the CHIP, right, being implemented, right? Because they could that could be the way back. You know what I'm saying? That could be the fight back to say that, hey, everybody needs to get this. But it's crazy because we just had an EMP, but now the solution is to put something electronic in my body. And so it just seems foolish. But nonetheless, if they do implement it, and all of the wicked take it, that's now also part of their body, something being shut down in their bodies, man. So the Lord could do this in in different ways, a different fashion. But it just to show you how so many things are dependent upon electricity and technology, and so really the point now is that your phone is connected to your hip, man. When you leave your house, and I do this as well. I'm not above it, but there are times where I try to leave my cell phone alone, or if it dies, like I say, if it dies, it dies. You know what I'm saying? If the phone dies, I don't be tripping. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm with Akim, because I tell the brothers, I'm like, hey, everything I need right now is in this room. You know what I'm saying? So I got my brothers with me, so I'm straight. But nonetheless, I looked up, I got some scriptures, but I looked up what's the percentage of people with a cell phone. It says, taking a closer look at U.S. statistics, and this is from explodingtopics.com. It says 95% of the population have some form of a cell phone. Now, it did say, I believe, 92% of Americans have cell phones and 86% have smartphones. But that's high, man. That's high, which have become dependent upon cell phone technology. I even see homeless people with cell phones all the time. I'll be walking down the street, I see homeless people with cell phones all the time. It's because there was a point in time for anybody, who was around, there used to be pay phones everywhere, right? What you would do is, it was a silver box generally, and it'd be a black phone in there with a cord to it, and you have to throw in 50 cents or $1.50, in order to make a call, and technology has increased a lot within these latter days. But to 95% of the population to have cell phones, that's really wild, man. So, it's like when you leave in the house, what do you say you need? You check for your keys, you check for your wallet, right? You check for your, let me say this for men. Ladies might have a whole different thing they go through when they getting out the house. But men, we check for our phone, we check for our keys, we check for our wallet, right? Those are the essentials. Phone, keys, wallet. Those are the essentials. So phone is a part of that, man. So your phone has become a part of your existence. But, there's going to come a time where you may not have a cell phone, man, right? You may not have this direct contact. The scriptures talk about how a time shall come when your brother, you would desire to hear another man's voice. Because right now you can dial up a brother and say, hey, brother, shalom, Yahweh Shem HaShabbarakatah. You get to talk to him, but the cell phone is going to be done because Esau Edom really don't want nobody communicating, right? He want to shut that down. The so-called elites, they will want to shut that down from people communicating. Well, the Lord will really want that, But I had some scriptures that I wanted to pull out because at the end of the day, when the lights go out, man, that's a good title. What happens when the lights go out? And so people are going to be in a completely different state. Okay. And see, now we got the truth. We got this light. So this light is going to keep us no matter where we go and what we do. This is Isaiah 50:10. It says, who is among you that feareth the Lord Yahweh, that obeyeth the voice of his servant, that walketh in darkness and hath no light? Let him trust in the name of the Lord and stay upon his power. You see, so we at the end of the day, these people in the world, they're truly walking in darkness already. So since they're walking in the darkness, the Lord is going to give them over into darkness. Whereas we got the light, Yahweh Shem Shai, so we're going to be kept. I looked up because everywhere you go, when you got to go somewhere that you've never been before, what do? And I gave you a second to answer that in your head. You put it in your GPS. When you don't know you going, you be like, hey, what's the address? And you pop that thing in your GPS. There was a point in time where, that's evolved too, where men would have to, they would say, hey, follow the star till something, or follow the star that it never goes out, and then you got to a time, going to where you hit the fork and then you go left. And then you got maps. When you go into they say you show these younger generations a map, they won't know what it is. But you used to have to go to like a gas station or a store like that, and they would pull out this foldable piece of paper. It would seem like a pamphlet, right? And then you unfold that shit, and it's big as hell. And then you have to see which roads to go to in order to get to a destination. Then they had MapQuest, right? MapQuest was a big thing when it came out. You could get online and then you could type in where you from and where your destination, and you could print it out, and then you could follow those directions in the car. But now they got the GPS where you could just put it in your phone and it pops up and takes you exactly where you need to go. And so, I thought I knew what GPS stood for. I thought it stood for I forgot what I thought the G. I was right on the P and the S, but I forgot what I thought the G stood for. I'm tripping now. But I looked it up. It stands for Global Positioning System, right? It says users of satellite navigation are more familiar with 31 Global Positioning System satellites developed and operated by the United States, right? And so it says, what does GPS stand for in a car? It says GPS, or the Global Positioning System, is a global navigation system that provides location, velocity, and time synchronization. GPS is everywhere. You can find GPS systems in your car, your smartphone, and your watch. GPS helps you get where you are going from point A from point to point B. That's from geotab.com. Right? So your GPS lets you get from point A to point B. So at the end of the day, what's our GPS? Our GPS is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua at the end of the day. Now, we get it. I ain't saying, brother, hey, brother, if you got a job interview, just be like, throw a prayer up, and it's 40 minutes away, and you just get in the car and you don't know where the hell you're going. You're like, I don't need the GPS. Nah, don't be foolish like that. I'm talking about in a time of trouble. In a time of trouble, you're going to need guidance. You're going to need to know which way to go. But the Lord is the one who's going to direct our paths. This is Psalms 119 and 133. It says, order my steps in thy word, and let not iniquity have dominion over me. So right now we're walking in the spirit and asking Yahweh Shem Shah to keep us far from sin, iniquity, and transgression. Right? But he ordering our steps according to his word. But there's going to come times where he's literally going to have the angels guiding us. He's literally going to be telling us things. He's literally going to be answering you things in a dream. He's going to be telling you where to go. Or like on Book of Eli, I always use that movie as an example, but he always said, where you going? West. He would always say west, So even if something, the Lord put something that simple on your spirit to head in a certain direction, that's really Yahweh Shem Shah giving you guidance. That's what I thought it stood for. Guiding positioning system, something like that. But it says Psalms 25 and 9, the meek will he guide in judgment, and the meek will he teach his way. Okay. Psalms 31 and 3, for thou art my rock and my fortress, therefore for thy name's sake lead me and guide me. You see, so we're asking the Lord to lead us and to guide us, because it's gonna get crazy out here one way or another, man. However you look at it, regardless if it's an EMP, regardless of it's Jacob's trouble pop off, if the government does something, regardless of it's a country attacking, so many of these things are set in motion for things to get real out here, right? And so when you have, and they talking about this cyber attack that's supposed to be happening, I'm not doing it because of that, because a lot of them things that people say, they never end up fucking happening. You know what I'm saying? Especially within a certain timeline. The Lord gonna do it exactly how he want to do it, when he want to do it, all of that. But y'all know I'm a movie man. Whenever you watch action movies and you have the bad guy enter the building, what's the first thing that they do? They found the electrical box and they cut the wires, right? Because maybe they came in prepared and they got night vision. But as you take the sight away from the person, right? You take communications away from the people where they can't call out. They can't call for help. They can't call their friends. You know, they try to take out the electricity. So, you know, this could be an attack that's coming upon the U.S. from another country. It could be an attack from the U.S. itself. You know, these devils will do anything to destroy the nation, man. Right? But I found out that the GPS, it says it's system owned by the United States government and operated by the United States Space Force. So what are the United States Space Force operating the GPS? Now, granted, the satellites are in American atmosphere, right? But they also using them. You don't think them GPSs are used for, because when you do like Google Earth or something, you can pinpoint your damn block. Your car might be sitting on the street from the most recent photo. So what they're doing is you guarantee they got devices that are looking towards the heavens as well, looking for the return of our Lord, for Yahweh Shah to come, man. Right? But there's going to come a time where we not going to be uploading videos no more, brothers. We not going to be sitting up dealing with Esau's technology no more. We're not going to be sitting up depending on your phone, and you're not going to be able to get on fucking TikTok and Instagram. I'm starting to realize like how mentally addicting and bullshit it is. And I've been knew this, right? I was never a big person on social media, even when I was in the world. Like, you know, maybe I was putting up some tweets and stuff, but I wasn't putting up pictures all the time and stuff like that. But, you know, now I got an Instagram for my business, right? That I do. But my point is, you now they got it to where you get on your phone and the first thing you click on is fucking social media. You know, and I'll be on there for 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm like, damn, like, I just got to close it out. You'll close it out, put your phone down, and then you pick it back up and you just click it again. So they are psychologically messing up people's minds with that stuff. But, you know, you got to remember, like, hey, don't over consume yourself with that, man. You know, too much of anything is a bad thing, right? But this is Amos 8, and I'm going to start at 9. You know, the point isn't really 11 and 12, you know, but I'm going to read this up. It says, it will come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. Now, we know when this judgment comes, you know, when those missiles come, the Lord said the moon shall be dark. There's going to be darkness and no light in it, right? The chariot's going to come. It's going to be a dark day, right? You know, but the Lord is also doing these things now. He says the plagues of Egypt gonna come again, right? And when you go into those plagues of Egypt, I'm gonna come back to that Amos real quick. When you go into that, the Lord took the light away from the Egyptians, right? This is Exodus 10 and 23. I'll just jump to the point. It says, they saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings, right? So for 3 days, and those people were freaking out. They couldn't see nothing, right? Their candles weren't working. Nothing was, you know, they were sorely afraid. So how much more in Jacob's trouble? And don't let a new moon come down on that ass. If a new moon come, it's over, right? A new moon is when there is no moon in the sky. It's going to be completely pitch black at nighttime, man. Okay? And so people are not going to know what to do, man. Right? But we, as much as this is going to be a trying time, we looking forward to the day where the Lord shut these things down, man. The Lord might just make it to where it light up where you at, man. Where you might get spiritual powers. You can start a fire. You can make your body or your hand glow up. You know, well, the Lord said we are already the lights, man. We the you know, through the Spirit, we're the lively stones. We're the Urim and the Thummim. You know, and of course that can, you know, brothers have went into that being a cell phone as well. But we're those lively stones, man. All right, through which the Yahweh Shema Shah has given an answer to Israel. Okay. Amos 8 and 10, it says, and I will turn your feasts into mourning and all your songs into lamentation. I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins and baldness upon every head, and I will make it as the mourning of an only son and the end thereof as a bitter day. You know, and that was the mourning of an only son, just like the Egyptians once again. But all of these people, good times are going to turn into bad times, man. Okay, it says, behold, the day is come, said the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land. Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Now, we know that a famine of bread and water is truly coming. And this is going, you saw that dude say this is going to increase crime. You know, food, Venezuela was an example. Venezuela was, you know, people doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Let that be an example, a small example. Because Venezuelans was bugging out. But at least they have some sort of, you know, for lack of better terms, dignity and respect to their fellow countrymen, right? Because they mainly all Venezuelans. Now, it's a small mixed population down there. But in Babylon, people don't like each other, man. Right? It says, in that day, people shall fight with swords in their hands against their neighbors, man. These people hate each other, right? They're just waiting for the moment to show their hatred, man. People don't like you because your skin color. People don't like you because they're envious. People don't like you because they're covetous. They want what you got. People don't like you because you're taller than them. People don't like you because you're more in shape than them. People don't want you because you got a nice looking woman. People don't like you because your fucking shoes be fresh, man. These people just looking for a reason to destroy each other. How much more when an EMP attack comes or something comes that truly separates the people to say, I want what you got and I'm going to take it, right? Well, ain't no more cell phones, man. You can't call nobody. And all you women that aren't submissive under a man of the Lord, all you women, hey, you going to have a big problem in this day, man. You ain't going to be able to call 911. You ain't going to be able to call an ambulance. You're not going to be able to call your brother who live in a few cities away to come and protect you. You're not going to have these things, man. So this is why you got to come up under the vibration of a man of the Lord. You know, matter of fact, in Isaiah, the 32nd chapter, when it talks about women being troubled, it says, many days and years shall you be troubled, man. You know, so that dude, he was saying, like, this is only a couple weeks, his example was a couple days or weeks. He said, imagine if it's months or years. It will be devastating, man. Right? But it says they're not going to hear the words of the Lord. So some type of way, I'm not saying it got to be an EMP attack. Some type of way, Yahweh Shem Shah is going to use Esau to cut off this technology where we can't upload these videos anymore. Because ultimately, what does he want to stop? It's not just about him not wanting you to communicate. He want to stop the truth from coming out. He want to stop people being able to see things. Because when men of the Lord get that power, he don't want nobody just recording, you know, and it could happen, right? It could happen because the Lord said they shall get fame and praise. It could happen, right? Where it's a world phenomena they know about the men of the Lord. Men of the Lord go Super Saiyan with white hair. You know, it could happen, but I'm just saying, Esau want to stop the truth from coming out. He don't want nobody to hear about this, man. Right? It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it, man. All right? They shall not find the word of the Lord. Okay? And so, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Shah, he's given his word before the evil days draw nigh. So now you know what to do, brother. You might not know, hey, should I go left? Should I go right? But the Lord is going to guide you. The Lord is going to give you the direction you need, the guidance that you need in that time to know where to go, what to do, right? Even how to speak in certain moments, right? He's already taught us how to speak, right? With certain people, right? Be peaceful with all men. He's taught us, you know, how to speak in the face of an enemy, you know, but he said he's also going to put those words in our mouth. This is 1 John 2:8. It says, again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past and the true light now shineth. You see, though, so the Lord's word is what now shineth amongst us, man. Right? At the end of the day. So now we Lord willing, we be those men, right? You few sisters out there, he gonna keep us. He gonna preserve us and our children, man. This is James 1:17. Every good gift and every perfect work is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. You see, so he's the Father of lights, man. So it's an easy thing for the Lord to make light in your area. You know, oh man, I wish I would have got that scripture. It talks about how light and day are no difference to him. You know, he's the Father of the heavens and earth. He's the Father of light. It's no thing. He said, you know, even when the Egyptians had darkness in their land, he says, and when the Israelites dwelled in Goshen, there was light amongst the children of Israel. And that in these times is going to be amongst the elect, man. Okay, we're going to have that light. You know, you know, you might not have communication for a while, but we're going to be able to communicate with Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? You're going to be able to pray. You're going to be able to access to your power. And he's going to guide you. He's going to be your guide and light in these times, man. Okay? Ye are children of the light, right? And the children of the day. We are not in the night nor darkness. So you got to believe that he's going to protect you and keep you through all of these trials and through the things that are going on. You see, because a lot of these people, they don't believe, right? So the day is going to pass where they're going to come to pass where he's going to show, hey, who was really believing in him and who wasn't, man. But the day that cell phone is going to be utterly taken away, it's going to be gone. It ain't going to be no use to you. So, you know, shedding those mortal things. But like I said, it's days where I ain't saying leave your cell phone. At the end of the day, you got to be in contact with the brothers. You got chats. We got to be responsible. We got duties. We got class. We got church. We got camp. We need to communicate. Hey, saying in the world is communication is key, man. Everything that you do stems through communication, right? When you got a relationship with your woman, y'all communicate. Even if let's say somebody was deaf or mute, right? They still find ways to communicate, right? They use non-verbal language. They might use sign language, right? Even people that have braille, even people that are blind use braille, you know. So there is always a way to communicate generally. So communication is key, man, right? So at the end of the day, taking out a source of communication, Esau know how important communication is. So he want to take that away, man. Right? But the Lord gonna be able to communicate with us. Let me get the definition of communicate. And I got one little small thing from an article I want to get, and then I'll wrap it up, Lord willing. Communication definition. All right, it says the imparting or exchanging of information or news, the means of sending or receiving information such as phone lines or computers. You know, and you can communicate from talking to somebody face to face, right? But it says a man shall desire to go to a city and shall not be able, right? And it also, you know, the scripture that says, behold, victuals shall be cheap upon the earth. You know, and I think I had that one. You know, at the end of the day, victuals is referring to food, provision, something that you eat. But I still thought that was on point. Let me see if I got that one. Yeah. This is second Ezra 16 and 18. Because victuals actually goes back to like dealing with life. Right? It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. And evils means bad times. What shall I do when these evils come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, right? The Lord is going to judge these people by famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish. It says, but for all these things, and see, they show in a matter of weeks, you saw these people tormenting each other, treating each other dirty, right? Only trying to get for themselves, using dams to get water, right? It says, before all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness. So the Lord can beat your ass and jack you up. And nonetheless, what do these people do? They become more wicked, right? When these things happen, we're not going to be out there trying to, we might go and try to get our needs, right? So we see a place and it's a food source and then we might try to go in and get it. But we're not going to be out blatantly trying to go and hurt people intentionally. We're not going to be trying to go and just kill people innocently. That's what Edomites going to be doing in 2/3 and try to rob people just because. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to be walking in the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Shai, and we just want to be guided so that we can get into the day where the Lord is going to deliver us. Okay? It says, nor be always mindful of the scourges. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Now, at the end of the day, we know victuals is going into food and them being cheap. But even your phone, right? Now, your phone can be expensive. Like my fucking bill, man, shit is $110 for my phone bill. You know, other brothers got more expensive ones. My shit used to be $120. You know, other brothers got cheaper ones. But that's still a cheap tool that you use that gives you what? Access to call somebody across the country, access to chat and text each other, access to the internet and look up things and Google and find information and research. Hey, and the cheapest of all, the main reason why it's cheap, it's a cheap way to allow us to get this truth, which is invaluable, out to the believers. That's why this phone, whatever price you pay for your phone, is worth it. Of you can get this word out to the four corners of the earth. But it's still a cheap victual. But what happens in a day when there's no more phone lines, right? The people that are going to be most devastated, what did it say? The people in hospitals, the people who are truly who are on medications, right? The people elderly, right? And women, man, women and children, you know. So you better find a safe place at Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? Hey, and men too, you know, they gonna be done deal too, but you know those other ones precede that, you know. But the men of the Lord is the place to be under the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. But hey, you know, oh, I said I wanted to get that quick article too. This was just something. It was from CISA.gov. It says electromagnetic pulse and geomagnetic disturbance. So that's another word they got for EMP, a geomagnetic disturbance, which is also GMD. It says extreme electromagnetic incidents caused by an intentional EMP, EMP attack or a naturally occurring geomagnetic disturbance, right? I guess that's when a natural cause happens. It says caused by severe space weather could damage significant portions of the nation's critical infrastructure, including the electrical grid, communications equipment, right, which are your cell phones, water and wastewater systems, and transportation modes. So not even being able to get water. But the Lord said he going to feed us and he going to give us drink in the times of trouble. Lord willing, we be his servants. It says the impacts are likely to cascade, initially compromising one or more critical infrastructure sectors, spilling over into additional sectors, and expanding beyond the initial geographic regions. It says geographic regions adversely impacting millions of households and businesses. For these reasons, the potential severity of both the direct and indirect impacts of an EMP or GMD incident compels our national attention. You see? So, hey, this thing is a big deal, man, if this were to happen, you know. But if it does happen, it's going to be through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And there's nothing nobody can do about it, right? But we, Lord willing, we always have light, and we keep the light, which is his word first and foremost, and that we endure to the end. Keep fighting, keep believing. It's going to get nasty out here, but he said we going to be kept for staying in his word. So, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and mercy to the elect. Until next time, Shalom.